Hey, what's up, brothers and sisters? Welcome back to Pick Up the Truth. Now, today we're going to take a second look at the Bible. And some people may think it's offensive that I call it the Bible, but I call it the Bible because it's a book of programming. And it just programs people how to believe in nonsense and put their faith in things that aren't real. And this is what disgusts me about this book and the things it has in it. Now, as we read along with this fictitious story that the Masons made up for us to put our faith in, we are going to have a little fun, make fun of it, point out the bullshit in it, and just keep it pushing. Because I'm tired of these motherfuckers, man. And it's time we open our eyes and see the blatant bullshit in these stories. And for the life of me, I don't understand how anyone with half a brain can believe in this garbage. And that's not an insult for the people who do. You've been programmed to believe in their crap all your life. And I'm not knocking you for this, but I'm upset at the people who fucking push it down our minds. And not just our minds, make our souls believe in it too, to the point that, we fucking take this to heart, people. We're on our knees in the shape of a pyramid praying to a God that doesn't exist. But our energies are sure enough real for it. And what are they doing with those energies they collect? They generate so much love and so many other emotions for this program God they make people believe in. What are they doing with these energies? Real energies they collect from us. Because trust me, our emotions are powerful. They can generate an awful lot of energy, depending on how much you believe in something and how much how much energy you expel and how much intention you put into it. It times that by billions of people that they have believing in their religions, not just Christianity. This is just an example. They have tons of other Bibles for lots of other religions that it's just the same bullshit, just in a different package. And it's time it got broken down, thrown to the curb. We realize it's bullshit and move on. So, what does Genocide 2 have to offer us? And we're going to take a look inside. Okay? Start with verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. Now, like we pointed out in Genesis 1, that there's no way they can verify that any program God that they want to give us did all the things that they say it did. And who was there to verify it? And with what did they verify it with? Okay? There was no language. There were no numbers. There was no pens or pencils or paper to write on. And no language to write with. So how did any of this information get documented? By the time they did come up with something, some form of communication, this information would have long been lost. If there was anybody even smart enough to comprehend what had just happened, which there wasn't. So, there you go with that. Now, verse 2, by the seventh day, God had finished the work. His program, God had finished the work He had been doing. And there you go again with the gender. So on the seventh day, He rested from all His work. Okay? Already we have numbers. Who created the numbers? Did their program God create the numbers? Because if you Google when numbers were created, they will tell you between 4,000 and 5,000 years ago. Now, if numbers were created 4,000 and 5,000 years ago, how did God have the numbers already listing His achievements? And why is it a He? Okay. These are things that just don't make sense to us. Verse 3, then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy. This program, God blessed the seventh day, again with the numbers. How did we come up with numbers? And make it holy. Holy for who? The people you put on the earth didn't know how to communicate. Because on it, He rested from all the work of creating that He had done. So this magnificent God who is able to create all these magnificent things needs energy to rest, because He doesn't have enough power to continue. Is that what you're telling me? These stories are incredible, guys. Okay. Now, the thing that gets me is the hypocrisy in these religions. These religions were created to divide the people. Okay? And they've done quite a good job at it, because we haven't been able to see the programming in it. Alright? It's crazy how we just allow these things to control us and we don't question it. I mean, for so-called 1,600 years they said the earth was flat. They even had a flat map created. Okay? Now, even in their Bible, they have the earth flat. Okay? It's a flat plane. Okay? Now, all the pastors, ministers, preachers, they preach now that the earth is round, because they've been programmed in the indoctrination centers we call schools that the earth is a globe and it's round and we're in space. But the Bible, they hold true to their heart with the belief in their program God that says all these things are so, but they choose not to go against it. And they choose to teach their congregations to do the same. Because these pastors, and the majority of them, believe in the globe earth. Hypocrites. Goes against the Bible. They're sworn to to preach their word of the program to God. I've never been able to understand that. I've always questioned this shit. It's incredible to me how more people don't question this stuff and just let it continue. You know. Of course there's truths about things in the Bible. Because the Masonic ones who wrote this Bible to program our minds, they knew truth. That's how they can manipulate the truth, because they know it. Alright? There's no God. Their God they made up for you was programmed. This God they have in this Bible is an unnatural entity at best. I mean, the numbers that they claim that this God knows, and the language they claim that this God invented, these things are unnatural things that we know come from men. Why would a God that has the ability to create such magnificence in nature consume themselves with naming their creation? Or numbering their creation? That wouldn't even enter the so-called mind. Because we don't know what created the heaven. We don't know what created the earth. And we don't know what created us. Because we've never been taught truth. We've only been given these programs to rely on for truth. Now, we're going to move on to verse 4, and that's Adam and Eve. Now here we go again. So you're telling me the one that created the earth and the one that created the people on the earth had names for the people on the earth. That's, again, what did they have to write their names with? No paper, pencil, or pens were invented back then. Okay, this is the account of the heavens and the earth. When they were created, when the Lord God, see, there you go, Lord. Now, how would anybody know about lords back then? Okay? Lord who? Their program, Lord God, made the earth and the heavens. Now, no shrub had yet appeared on the earth, and no plant had sprung up. Again, who was there to verify, and what did they have to record the information? Language was not yet invented, or even had time to learn it if it had been by this program God. Okay? For this Lord God had not sent rain on the earth. I guess he forgot. And there was no one to work the ground. Of course there was no one to work the ground. But I'll tell you, man, this God that made the earth wasn't powerful enough to make it sprout to life without water. Is that what you're telling me? Okay, wait a minute. Maybe I spoke too soon. But streams came up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground? Of course it did. But how did that happen? I don't know, man. So if the streams came up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground, wouldn't that just kill everything and drown? I don't know, man. Were animals created at this time? I don't know. Maybe not. I'm getting ahead of myself in this fairy tale story. Hold on. This program God formed a man from the dirt in the ground. Hold on. He formed him from dirt. But that dirt made all the fucking detailed veins and muscles and fucking sophisticated organs and lungs, heart. It fucking made everything that makes us work. I've never known magical dust and dirt to do that, have you? I know that the Creator is powerful, and I love playing in the dirt. I love it going through my fingers and shit, but I've never known it to do all that. I've never looked at dirt in that way before. But wait a minute, it says he breathed his breath into the nostrils. Oh, wait. What? From the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Boy, I had no idea we fucking came to life that way. Holy shit. They always said I was a dirty motherfucker. I guess that's true. Nah, I don't believe that shit. You believe that shit, guys? No, I can't believe that. See, that's the that's the nonsensical bullshit they expect people with the brain to believe. Now, that just makes me laugh. This is like a comic book to me. Now, verse 8. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east. Now, okay. Now, they say they got east, west, north, and south already. And they already got a name for the land. Where'd the name come from? Now, please. Now, please. Where did these things come to write these names with? I can't help it. And they had east, west. That's like on a map already. They had a quarter of the map created already in the beginning. I didn't know that either. Did y'all know that? And there he put the man he had formed. Well, he formed a man out of dirt like a little soldier, like we would do as children. If we're making mud pies and shit, we might form little soldiers as well when we throw like a big dirt bomb on them and bomb them into little bitty pieces. I guess he did the same thing to you. A man. He placed us in the east in Eden. And the Lord God, program God, made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground. Trees that were pleasing to the eye. Now, why would he put man on the ground and then make trees? It would make more sense to make trees and then put man on the ground? I'd be afraid that the man would get hurt. I mean, he is made of dirt after all. The tree might think he's a little form of nutrition and suck his ass. I don't know. The Lord God made all kinds of trees. trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Now, how can there be knowledge of good and evil when shit just started? There's not even a fucking language. The knowledge of good and evil? Come on, isn't that a little premature? I mean, we just started this shit. It's like putting the cart before the horse. What God would do that? I don't believe this shit. Do y'all? Okay. Verse 10. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden, and oh, sorry. Little corona. Got a little corona tickle in my throat. A river watering the garden. Okay. So, the river's watering the garden, and we know there's trees in the garden. How much, where was the water coming from? It was separated into four headwaters. Okay, I won't even get into that shit. There you go with the numbers again. 4. Isn't that some shit? I swear. The earth wasn't even finished creating. But, fuck, man, we had numbers. Ain't this some shit, man? The name of the first... Okay, they were naming shit now, too. No. It winds through the entire land of... Okay, alright. Where there is gold. Now, there is no way in hell we already knew about gold. Okay. Guys, you see how ridiculous this is? The earth ain't even finished. Man hadn't even washed the fucking dirt off of him yet because... his body ain't, the dirt ain't finished forming his body. And this so-called program God ain't even made woman yet. Or animals, I don't think. But we already know. We know numbers. There's nothing to write them down with. And I'll be damned if this motherfucker's not writing some sophisticated... These are hard fucking names too. Fission? I mean, that's some bullshit if that program God expects us to remember that shit. And we ain't even had fucking pencils or pens or paper fucking to write with. And no. And look at the next name. The entire land of Havilah? There ain't no way in hell some motherfucker gonna remember that shit without nothing to write with. Alright. And the gold of that land is good. Alright. They fucking knew about gold, alright. Didn't know anything else. I'm saying they. I guess it was just the man still fucking half-baked with dirt. And onyx are also there, but everybody knew that shit too. Yeah, they named the second river too, and yeah. Alright, guys. In all seriousness, we know these motherfuckers that stole the land that was created for us. Name the fucking land. Okay? Enough with this fucking bibble and the bullshit it feeds us. Look at this shit. Woman hasn't even been created yet, but the fucking lands that they stole from all of humanity has been fucking... has been Named already. Named by who? You think if these names were coming up, that this powerful God would show you in detail how they made the language, how they made the numbers, how they made everything. But it doesn't happen. They don't even mention it. These are things that we'd like to know, right? How did all this sophisticated information get passed down with nothing to write with? I'd like to know. That's important information, don't you think? How come we never request this kind of proof from any of these people who bring us this Bible? I mean, come on. Now they're naming the third river, Tigris. They're naming the fourth river. They got numbers, they got names. And this program, Lord God, took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden, another garden. That's the garden, man. That's the garden they claim. Alright? They got a name for that one, too. I ain't even got to the foolishness yet, people. The foolishness. I can't. How can we even take this book or the words it's written in this book serious? There's so many unnatural things. Okay? So many unnatural things in this book. The energy that created the earth, the energy that created us, the energy that created the animals is a natural creator. Okay? This creator, we can have absolute faith and belief in. Because it's the creator of us and everything natural. This programmed God, or any programmed God they want you to believe in, is not real. It's not real. Look at the fairy tale they want you to believe in, and this is just the first one. Anybody that knows truth trying to read this crap, I mean, you'd be laughing. Because it's ridiculous. The garbage they try to program you to believe in. But you know, there's the majority of the public will put their faith in this stuff. Not only put their faith in it, put their energy in it, put their thoughts in it. They'll get distracted by this entire book. They'll read it verse by verse, try to understand it, try to apply it to their life, real energy expanded, real intentions put into it. People, this is not some fucked up little fairy tale. These are real fucked up program lies that affect the majority of people. And it's sad. It's sad, man. I know I shouldn't laugh, but this shit's sad. Let's continue. Okay? Because I want to at least get through this Adam and Eve, motherfuckers. I can't. Alright. This program God took the man, put him in the garden. And this motherfucker was expected to work the garden, okay? And take care of it. Alright, I don't know what this program God was paying him. Or what the incentive was to have him breaking his fucking back in this fucking garden. And it doesn't say. You know? Verse 16. And the program God commanded the man, you are free to eat from any tree in the garden. Well, I fucking hope so. Because you created this shit for me, dumbass. Why wouldn't I be free to eat from it? But you must not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. For when you eat from it, you will certainly die. Okay. Number one, the man doesn't know any fucking language. The man doesn't know numbers. The man just was fucking created. His brain is wiped clean. He's a fucking, like a baby, right? How's he gonna know anything about death? He's never died. Why would that instill fear in him? Okay, number one. Why would that instill fear in him? This is the first man, so-called, right? Never died before. But the thought of dying is supposed to instill some kind of fear in him for not to eat the tree, right? Okay. Let's continue. Well, wait a minute. And how would the man know anything about good and evil? The man wouldn't know anything about good and evil, because in order to know anything about good and evil, you would have to know knowledge. Okay? And the knowledge is so-called in the tree, which we've never seen a tree that had knowledge of good and evil ever in our lifetime, have we? No. Because they don't fucking exist. It's only a fairy tale in this Bible. Verse 18, the program God said, it's not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. Okay. Number one, I thought they already did that when they said that this program God created man and woman earlier, but I may be mistaken. I don't know. It's these motherfuckers' book of lies. So we'll give them that one. And the program God had formed out of the ground. Well, now wait a minute. It's not good for the man to be alone, but it didn't say anything about making the woman. Well, where did you make the woman? Oh, well, it went out of order here. Let me continue. Let's see. The program God had formed out of the ground all the wild animals. Again, the animals were made out of dirt, and that seems completely plausible. Now they fucking procreate. I don't know. I've never seen any other ones come out of the dirt. Have you seen any animals born out of the dirt anymore? I don't know. I've never seen that shit. Okay. And all the birds in the sky, I guess they were made from dirt too, and now they fly. He brought them to the man to see what he would name them. Okay, the man doesn't know any fucking language. Now he's supposed to name these motherfuckers. I don't know. If that don't put pressure on you, I don't know. What created you told you to name these motherfuckers, and you've never known the language before. Ooh. You only got so much, and you don't have no time, because time hasn't been invented yet, I don't think. Okay, guys. And whatever the man called each living creature, that was its name. Yeah, you know that's bullshit. Now look, do you see all the animals? How many different kinds of animals? Even if you did know a language, how long would it take one motherfucker to name all the animals in a damn on the earth. And how would he be able to get around the earth to know each and every animal? Okay. It makes your mind hurt because the mind control is just too much, you see. Alright. It's got to make you laugh, though. But they say that motherfucker did it. It must be the smartest motherfucker on the earth, because, yeah, you named them all. You knew the alphabet. You knew each and every name. I mean, all the sophisticated names that we know the animals as today, he created. So, give the man props. He did all that shit without pen, paper, pencil. Didn't even have paint. I don't even know if he had stone carved shit in. I don't know, man. So the man gave names to all the livestock, the birds in the sky, and all the wild animals. I don't know. Okay, but let's move on. Seems like that would have took at least 150 years to do. But for Adam, no suitable helper was found. What? Okay. What kind of no suitable helper was found? Wasn't it the program God that said that Adam needed a suitable helper? Okay. But this program God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. And while he was sleeping, this program God took one of the man's ribs. Okay. And then closed up the place with flesh. Then the program God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. Okay. You know what? I really love to eat ribs, and it breaks my heart to think that a woman was made from a rib. Because then if I eat a rib, am I eating a future woman? I don't know. I'd hate to think of that because it would just ruin me eating another rib. But, come on, guys. Have we ever, just like we were made from dirt, have we ever seen anybody made from a rib? And if this program God was able to make man from dirt, how come he just didn't shape and form a woman from dirt too? How come he had to put us to sleep and do an operation on us and take some shit from us? That's not fair, man. That's not fair, They say God made us right the first time. Why did he have to take shit from us to make a woman? That's some shit right there, boy. That means we were supposed to have a rib, and now we don't. Okay? Yeah. You see, this is why you can't be believing in this shit, man. Because you start thinking about this shit, and it's just programming. So this shit you just got to kick to the curb in your head. And don't even give it a second thought, because it's just bullshit. Alright. Then the program God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man. Okay, we know that. The man said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." Again, here we go. This man that was just fucking created already knows language and is saying sophisticated shit like this. I mean, come on. You remember when you were in school and they used to get you up in the classroom so you can make a speech? How nervous you were. This motherfucker just created, and he can already get up in front of the creator and claim that the woman that was created from him, this is now bones of my bones. What, you already named the parts of your body? And you already know that your skin is flesh. And she shall be called woman. So you're saying the man named the woman? Okay. Now, this motherfucker don't know any language, but he knows well enough to call this chick a woman. Come on, people. This is why. Okay. Verse 24. That's why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. No. I'd say the reason why a man leaves his mom and dad is because he'd rather be, getting it on with a good-looking woman. Living with one. Come on now. We were made to procreate. That's what we do. We have a natural urge to be with one another. What is this shit? Come on. And of course we become one flesh when we connect. I fucking didn't know that. That's Captain Obvious in the building. Adam and his wife, okay. So they already instituted the fucking program of marriage. So now Adam has a wife. I don't know when the wedding happened. Who created the fucking wedding? That had to be a lot, okay? A lot involved in that. We know what wedding coordinators go through and all that shit, but we skipped all that in the Bible, and now they're married. There was no reception or any of that shit involved, and now they're both naked on the honeymoon, and they felt no shame. Alright, guys. That, I guess, is Genesis 2. Let's see. We'll leave it there. I think you get the picture. If you believe in this shit, you need to re-examine what you believe in. This stuff is just, it's programmed mind control. Seriously, people. Makes you believe in the things they created for your mind. It also turns you into the people they want you to be. They got you on your knees praying to this kind of garbage. They got you on your knees making pyramids with your hands. Masonic hand gestures. They program all this shit. If you don't know, if you can't see that the Masons are all through this Bible, all through this fairy tale shit, I don't know, man. We just need to wake up because we love each other. Take care of yourself, guys.